Welcome to Take Off Mondays. I'm Rosanna Catalano, and I'm speaking to you live from my office in Tallahassee, Florida. And my co-host, of course, is Joy Tootle.
Hi, I'm Joy Tootle. I work with Rocket Ship Consultants, and I'm live with you from my home in Gainesville, Florida.
And we have a wonderful guest with us today who's also live. Tell us who you are and where you are.
Buenas noches. I'm Nathan Moon, and I'm live with you from San Miguel de Allende in Guanajuato, Mexico.
Oh, we are international today. Tell us what you are doing in Mexico, Nathan.
Well, my wife and I moved to San Miguel from Tallahassee, Florida, about 9 months ago. We arrived here just after Mexico's Independence Day. We visited San Miguel many times over the years and just fell in love with the place. It's a city in the mountains of central Mexico with beautiful colonial era buildings, a vibrant art and music scene, and just warm, welcoming people who love to celebrate nearly every festival that Mexico has to offer, and that's a lot. There's just always something happening here. You're really spoiled for choice in San Miguel. You know, back in the States, we were doing fine, but we were also just feeling ready for some kind of a change. I'd really been doing a lot of thinking about how we were living, what we enjoyed doing, how we might simplify things or do things differently, just to enjoy more of our precious time. So in the winter of 2019, we started to think somewhat seriously about selling everything and moving to Mexico. By May, we had a reasonable plan in place and decided that we would give it a try for a year and see how it goes. Nothing has to be forever. And that simple thought makes a big move like this just so much more manageable to think about. That was also when I started my website, tomexicoandbeyond.com. I started that to document, what we were thinking, what we were planning, how things were going. I also thought it would be a good way to have some public accountability to sort of help drive these plans forward. Little did I know at the time, but these plans were basically going to be on autopilot. We were originally thinking about first moving here this spring, so maybe just a month or two ago. Fortunately, all of our plans just moved along so fast that we ended up getting here last fall. Had we stuck to our original timeline, we would not have been able to do this because, of course, COVID-19 took over everything this spring. I'm just incredibly grateful for the way that things worked out. At least before the virus hit, our plans and expectations for this move had all really worked out beautifully. We love living here. We've been able to slow things down, really enjoy what we're doing. We don't have a car here. We walk everywhere. The weather is perfect for that. We take a bus or an Uber if we need to. And yes, we do have Uber here. All that walking has helped us improve our health and fitness, all things that we were hoping to achieve with this move. While things are, of course, different now, obviously we're not able to meet up with friends like we did before. We're still making the most of our time here. In fact, we just decided that we would stay for another year. Signed a lease at a new place a little closer to the center of town. So hopefully there's more action to enjoy in the center of town next year. As far as work goes, I kind of refer to myself as pre-tired. I'm not exactly retired, but just taking on the projects that I want. And it's great to be able to continue to work remotely with Rocket Ship's clients. I mostly help people through career coaching, developing resumes, and preparing for interviews. So it's great to be able to maintain those connections and still help our clients from abroad.
Well, we are so happy to still have you on the team and to be able to work with you and be able to do events like this and be able to see you and that you all are doing well. We will have to do a show on working remotely from another country, and you will have to lead that show when we do it, definitely. So let's talk about our subject for tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about staying connected during COVID-19. While many states are starting to open up, and here in Florida, they've started to open up things still aren't the same, and we still don't quite have the ways that we used to connect. We've got some issues now. We had more than 16 million Americans within the first 3 weeks of quarantine lose their jobs. Obviously, we're in I don't even know, I've lost track myself. We're in the third, fourth month of quarantine. So there are just millions and millions of people that have lost work. And one of the best ways to get back into the workforce is through networking and staying connected and creating those relationships. So we're going to talk tonight about how you can keep that up while still being at home.
And of course, most of us are just familiar with networking through in-person meetings, coffees, networking events, cocktail parties. All of those things have vanished in the last few months. I recently read that until COVID-19, event planners in the US were putting together more than 5,200 meetings a day, each with more than 10 attendees. And those numbers don't even include, your smaller local events and things that aren't put together by people in the event planning industry.
Yeah, now that those opportunities have vanished, the people that were putting those on, they're probably worried about their business. Their business is way down, nothing is stable. And so people are wondering, how do we keep our connections that we've had and how do we make new ones?
I think that's absolutely correct. People are just uneasy overall, whether they have work or they're out of work. So, one of the best ways to stay connected in a time like this is by being authentic, by having those real connections with folks and really reaching out to people in a genuine way. What surprised me, and it's what's been refreshing too during this period, is to see how people have put notes in their windows to connect. I have a good friend that goes on evening walks and she takes chalk with her and she's able to comment. She's seen that her neighbors have redone their lawns and she's put, nice flowers, on the sidewalk, and has created connections in that way. So as long as the connections are authentic and real, I think they have some real value now during this time.
Oh, absolutely. And the creativity is fantastic, but we have to realize as well that this is not a time for our usual greetings. So a lot of the things that we may have done in the past under normal circumstances, reaching out to someone with a simple greeting like, "How are things? Hope you're well." That would be fine, but these days, hardly anyone is fine. We've all seen the numbers of cases in the US and around the world. Our numbers here in Mexico are increasing greatly right now, which is terribly unfortunate. This is affecting millions. So people are stressed, along with worrying about not just the health crisis, people are worried about their jobs and finances. And now working from home is putting new strains on families too. So we've lost those familiar ways of keeping in touch. And people, it seems to me, are hungry for connections right now. So I've found that people are really receptive and appreciative when I reach out. This is a time to draw upon our kindness, our compassion, and I think Ro used that word, authenticity. That's it exactly. Reaching out to your network to genuinely see how they're doing, how they're holding up through all of this change. And then share something about your own status during this crisis, how you're dealing with it, if you found something that works for you. Just acknowledging how difficult things are is often appreciated. And that kind of message, it's something that can be sent to nearly anyone in your network. So don't be afraid to reach out to a lot of people. It's fine to still call and email, but feel free to branch out via other means, especially now. Means like social media, private messages, even messages via LinkedIn and all those other services that we're hearing about and learning about these days.
Yeah, even face-to-face conferences like we're having, I think, have a lot of value and impact to people that have been isolated and at home. One of the things that I think we really do need to also keep in mind is to have patience during this time. Everything takes longer. Going to the grocery store takes longer. Getting mail takes longer. Everything, even work, takes longer. At least for me, I've been home and I've been interrupted many, many times by the wonderful people that I love, but they interrupt a lot. So even just writing emails, everything takes longer. So just have patience when you're interacting with people. A person that normally gets back to you in an hour, it may take them 3 days to get back to you. So just have those expectations and you won't be disappointed. Just be patient with everyone. And speaking of patience, I think we'll take a minute out of our show to play one of our commercials. At Rocket Ship Consultants, our mission is to launch your business, career, or podcast. Our team works with you to start and grow your business with fresh ideas and inspiration. Let us make key introductions on your behalf and leverage our network of contacts. Talk to us before you send your application in for a new position, a university admission, or a scholarship. From resumes and interview preparation to negotiating offers, our experienced career advisors can help you at all levels achieve your career goals. Let us help you take that dream you have for a podcast or video and turn it into a reality. Rocket Ship Consultants offers a variety of services, so check out our website at rocketshipconsultants.com. Take off with Rocket Ship Consultants and launch your business, career, or podcast with us. I like our new commercial.
I love
and
it.
that voice. It seems so familiar. We're hoping that folks that have been struggling with work will give us a call. We're happy to take care of you and help you get to the next level and return back to work, So, I'm very pleased with that commercial, and I hope folks will call us and reach out to us so we can help them.
Speaking of folks, do you want to look at the comments real quick? I think we have a couple of questions maybe.
Okay, excellent.
Let's see here. Allie Wokes, are there any suggestions for networking for people you've never met for your business?
Oh, absolutely. This is the thing that I just have loved seeing over this time is the creative ways that people are coming up with to maintain and even build connections through this. There's a couple of gentlemen in town who call themselves the Sublime Guys. That's their website or Facebook page. They do a lot of life coaching type work. I'd never heard of them before, but I saw a notice on Facebook for something called a COVID Coffee Talk, where the guest speaker was to be an author who I was interested in. So I thought I'd just see what it was all about. We met via Zoom, which was really easy to use. Our guest speaker appeared from Australia because he had gotten stranded there due to the virus. There were about a dozen of us from San Miguel and several other cities around Mexico. A half dozen people joined from the US, and a couple of people attended from Canada. I'm sure this type of an event took a little bit of work to coordinate for them on their side of things. But what a great way to keep in touch with your clients and offer something of value and really show who you are and what you do to a new audience of people who aren't your clients yet. So thinking of some things you can do for the people in your network, those are the kinds of things that people are really craving right now. And I think you'll find a lot of mileage for any sort of effort you put into that right now.
I think you're absolutely correct. If people give, they will then receive during this time. I think that really goes a long way during this period of time. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, we promised a little reveal to our audience, and I know we're running out of time. So I wanted to talk about what we're going to be doing, Rocket Ship Consultants. We are going to be sponsoring a meetup, a networking meetup for people. It's going to be called Launchpad, and I'm going to let Joy give us the details on what we'll be doing.
Yes, to start with, we'll be meeting in the evening in this same format. We're going to have guests appear with us. We're going to start on July 2nd at 8 o'clock. And like I said, it'll be a live format just like this. If you would like to be a guest on that meetup, the Launchpad, we encourage you to contact us, invite your colleagues. Basically, we'll be broadcasting live on YouTube and on Facebook at Rocket Ship Consultants. And we'll be playing games. If you're still eating dinner, feel free to continue eating dinner, have a drink. It's just a casual way to meet people and build your career in comfort from your very own couch.
Absolutely. We are going, it's open to everyone, especially entrepreneurs, people thinking about starting a business, and definitely professionals. So please look for our advertisements that we'll put up about Launchpad, and I hope you'll join us. Well, I see it looks like we are out of time once again. So thank you all for coming, and thanks to our audience and all of those that have commented. We appreciate all of you.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.